everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Melinda and I post about literally anything and everything that I'm currently passionate about. As you all might know, I am a student in university. I currently go to the University of Auckland. I've been here for about 2 months now, and there has been a need to get used to things because obviously life in Malaysia is completely different to life in Auckland, New Zealand. People go about lives differently. Across our universities, I've noticed that there are some things that hold true like all throughout every single university. So yeah, this is a video addressing that and 10 things to expect going to university. So without further ado, let's just get into the video, shall we? Okay, so I've written everything down in my little notebook here, and I think I'm just going to address the thing that people are worried the most about, and that is your social life. Aside from your academics, I'm pretty sure the social life is the next thing on your mind, and fear not, I've covered that topic, or I'm going to cover that topic. And I think the first thing I'm going to emphasize is that going to university, I was really worried about making friends. So yeah, I was so worried about making friends because I am a naturally awkward person. I am, despite looking like, some people think I'm confident, some people think I have it together, but that's not the case. But despite looking like a certain way on the outside, I am quite awkward and I'm quite reserved. So making friends was the biggest issue for me when I came here. Like, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to click with certain people, but be rest assured that you will make friends. Going to your first year, everyone is just as scared shitless as you are, no matter where they're from, because it's a new environment, people are insecure, and naturally there would be a need for everyone to make friends with everyone. And also, which brings me to this, your first group of friends would not always be your long-lasting group of friends. What I mean by this is that people oftentimes stick together in the beginning because they just want a group to stick together with. They don't want to feel alone, they want to go through it with people. So yeah, that's why you form that first initial friend group. But over time, most friend groups will spread apart. Some people will stick together, but most of the time the group will spread apart because people will just generally find other people that they click better with and people that they genuinely enjoy being around. And there's no harm in that. Some people are just not for you and some people are definitely for you. And no one should take that personally. It's just a matter of taste, it's a matter of preference, it's just a matter of who you are. So yeah, another thing to remember is that first impressions don't always hold true. I remember that I used to not like this one friend of mine. Currently, I think he's awesome now, but I used to not really like this one friend of mine from my business class. But over time I realized that he's a really good guy and etc. And actually my best friend Shanisha, back in high school when I first met her, ooh Shanisha, you're gonna learn this for the first time, I'm so sorry. But back in high school when I first met her, I found her okay, but I didn't think that we would get close just because I thought that she wasn't for me. But over time, she's my best friend now. So yeah, sorry Shanisha. So yeah, just don't hold that judgment, and because that's not necessarily who they are. They might just be acting it up because they're insecure, because they're in a new environment, you know, all that. We just get like that sometimes. Another thing to keep in mind is that people in university are very likely to be flakers. Last Friday, I was supposed to go out with my friends, or in this case, a Friday, one of the Fridays. I was supposed to go out with a bunch of friends to party, you know, university kids party at the end of the week. But 80% of them flaked. I don't know why, they just did. So it turned out to be a pretty lame night, but rest assured that it's gonna happen and it has nothing to do with you at all. It really doesn't. It's just a matter of people not really knowing how to manage their time. And I think personally I do try to not be a flaker myself because I tend to believe in treating others the way you want to be treated. Even if you do that and it happens to you, don't take it to heart because things like that just happen. Oftentimes it doesn't have to do with you, it just has to do with other people, and you just gotta accept that because people are learning and so are you. So yeah, people grow at different paces and that's completely fine. My last thing when it comes to social life is that unlike high school where you get a chance to interact with every single person because it's such a small community, university is oftentimes a large community. So try to make an effort to reach out and make friends. By this I mean when you sit next to a stranger in the lecture, try to be friends with them, try to talk to them, try to make random conversation because you want to keep your acquaintances large. You don't want to shut anyone out of your life, or you don't want to shut the possibility of a friend, because that just means that you might lose out on somebody who might have a huge impact on your life. So yeah. Okay, so this is the next thing I want to address, and this is a really important thing. Your family is going to be really worried for you. My dad is typically not somebody who like texts me, but like ever since I've been here, he's been texting me a lot. A simple way to communicate with them without really like engaging in too much conversation and without like having to like put a stop in your life and just like talk to them for like an hour or two. But if that's your thing, it's fine. But like a simple way to keep them updated with your life is just by sending pictures every now and then. Maybe your family has Snapchat, maybe not. If your parents have Snapchat, I would think that that's really cool, but like my dad doesn't really have Snapchat, so like I communicate with him through this app called WhatsApp. And it's a free app where you just like, as long as there's internet, you can communicate to them. You can communicate with them for free. And yeah, I usually like show him where I am when I'm studying, what I do with my friends, and I show them like, for instance, like Lana, my best friend here in New Zealand, she baked me a cake for my birthday, and I just like showed him. I showed him everything because like usually every single birthday of mine, he is the one to bring me a cake. It's always been like that all throughout my years growing up. He's always bought me a cake, and it's always been me and him. And so like ever since I moved here, it just changed a certain dynamic, and I'm pretty sure that he's worried about me. So yeah, you just gotta keep them updated with your life. Just sending the message that you're alive, you know? Like as long as they know you're alive, you're Gucci. Next thing to talk about, and you won't feel this until like much later into the first few months of your university life, and that is like anything to do with your wallet, you need to keep an eye about. Like you need to be like aware of anything that has to do with your wallet. Keep track of your spending. Careful spending. One way that you could like control your spending and like manage your spending without having to like sacrifice all of the luxuries in your life, for instance like trips or like good food and etc., is by saving up for them. So I have the app, the ANZ app, because like my bank here is ANZ. I have a Jumpstart account, a online account, and a savings account, and any big purchases that I want to do, like a trip or for instance I want to buy a vlogging camera really soon, anything like that, I frequently transfer money from my online account or my Jumpstart account. Like every single week I have 300 for my Jumpstart account, and what a Jumpstart account is basically your pocket money. It doesn't have any interest attached to it, so you're not going to make money off the Jumpstart account. There's only interest, like a small amount of interest attached to your online account and a larger amount to your savings account. But yeah, I usually transfer 300 from my online account, is where the bulk of my money is. I transfer money from my online account to my Jumpstart account, and from that 300 in my Jumpstart account, I take about 100 and I put it into my savings account every single week. And over time, that builds up capital for your purchase. So yeah, I've already talked about it. Have a fixed amount of pocket money that you stick to each week. For my case, it's like 300, rent excluded, because rent here is really expensive. I have to pay 710 for 2 weeks here. So yeah, keep a fixed amount of pocket money so that you can sort of like ration out the money that you use every single time. Another thing to note is that you are going to feel at some point mentally drained from all the assignments and everything going on in your life. You're going to feel a bit out of balance. So when you feel like that, try to do something that you genuinely enjoy and that genuinely calms you down. What I do is that I have this app called the Headspace, and it's basically an app where it gives you guided meditation. And also another thing, don't study all the time. You want to have like certain times in a day, like 1 or 2 hours or like a few hours, where you just spend doing things that you enjoy. Keep the studying like to a fixed amount of time, and make sure that you're like 100% in that studying like mindset, because you want to study efficiently. That's just an easier way to go about university. You study efficiently, then you get your time to enjoy. Just be 100% in everything you do. Multitasking is never a good idea. It just doesn't exist. You don't end up doing a good job for multitasking. So yeah, keep that in mind. I know sometimes that I have to keep that in mind too, because I'm always tempted to whip up a YouTube video every now and then to like do my work with, but don't multitask. Be 100% in everything you do, and everything's Gucci. Okay guys, so I forgot to film an outro, so that is all for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you can hear what's going on behind there, I'm just cooking dinner. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support, and goodbye!